Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm BorderWise, and welcome back to From the Depths, Weird and Wonderful. And a lot of you possibly guessed this was coming. This thing is kind of blown up on the Steam Workshop a bit, and the maker of this particular craft, PTAB Brenzo, or just Brenzo, actually has made an entire series on building this thing. This is the HMS Ragnarok version 2022, so for those of you who don't know, and I'm be a little bit surprised if you didn't know, the Ragnarok was a battleship made by Robbaz, who is a much bigger YouTuber than I am. Years ago, when From the Depths was in the early stages of development, I don't even know when that is. I think that might have been like 2014 or something, long time ago. Anyway, drew a lot of attention to the game, and part of the reason for that is because Robbaz built this giant-ass battleship, the Ragnarok. And for the time, it was pretty good, because it was just giant, it had very big rapid-fire guns. And then From the Depths moved on. I don't think Robbaz has made much From the Depths content since. And so Brenzo took it upon himself to redo the Ragnarok and make it all updated and shiny and cool and meta for the modern state of From the Depths. And by gum, he's done a jolly good job. And I will be linking below to Brenzo's channel. Done a whole series, which, confession time, I haven't watched, on rebuilding the Ragnarok. Very involved process, took a lot of work. So everyone, applaud Brenzo. Retrofitting something, especially something big, is actually, I tend to find it's more work than building something from scratch, which is why I avoid doing it. But anyway, and that is what happened, and Brenzo, and I'm quite flattered by this, tested this big girl against the Titan Slug, or rather, showed off what it looks like when they fight, because he did a fair amount of testing against her off-screen, at least that's the impression I get. And yeah, the Titan Slug gets her ass kicked by this thing, which isn't a big surprise, since this thing is more expensive, it's bigger, and it's better optimized in pretty much every single way. It uses a lot of tried and true building methods and just, I guess, strategy, so to speak. Just building strategy, construction. So yeah, this thing is an absolute beauty, and we're gonna have a little tour of it, and, well, like, I will be linking Brenzo's videos below, as I said before, so you can, so you can see what it's like. And also so you can support his channel, because it's very promising. I love to see other people making From the Depths content, because, like, you know, it just means that you lot get to see the stuff that I don't usually do, which is fantastic. So in any case, the HMS Ragnarok, which I believe that's how you say it, the Ragnarok, and this thing has a lot of stuff in it. So let's take a look at the guns first. These are interesting. Each turret is quite specialized. These front ones, I believe, let's see here, Sabo Head 1, these are pure Sabo, which is an interesting choice for such a heavy caliber gun. I generally thought that, you know, you should stick to lower gauge guns for, like, pure kinetics, or at least pure AP kinetic, simply because, like, otherwise you might have wasted damage through overpins, and just, you know, not the same destructive potential as something that has chemical warheads in it. The trick is actually just to spam them, so there are 4 guns here, and each of them lobs like about 23 rounds per minute, so times that by 4, that's 80, and each one of these shells, let's go have a look, let's see, the railgun draw is, I think for these fellas, nothing, so it's just what you have. Let's see here. Yeah, so about just shy of 1400 meters per second, and the kinetic damage is 11,000, and the expected armor pierce is like 80. So how did you do that? That's impressive. Oh, it's because it's pure Sabo, like Sabo Warhead body and Sabo head. So yeah, there's basically nothing stopping this. This thing can melt heavy armor like it's not even there. But all the guns have some slightly different stuff to them. So I believe this one is, let's see, this is APHE, and this one is a railgun. So I believe the bigger super firing guns are... This one's not a railgun, but this one is. Interesting. all staggered out. This one, let's have a look at you. This is also Sabo, but let's see here. That's 150 millimeters. Wait a minute, is this? It is, it's decoed. Oh, you cheeky sod, Brenzo. I see what you've done here. You fooled me! You fooled me completely. Alright, and let's see here, this one is loaded with... Okay, so that's APHE again. Deacon's hell, that's a nasty shell. Nasty, nasty shell. Because it does like 33,000 kinetic damage. Deacon's hell. No wonder the T-Stolly did so poorly. She got her ass kicked. And there's also kinetic, and yep, so this is the kinetic Sea-Wiz, good at shooting down stuff. Let's see here, this is, yep, kinetic Sea-Wiz as well, and I believe up in front here is explosive Sea-Wiz. So yeah, this thing is a lesson that Sea-Wiz is actually really good, simply because when it's not shooting at incoming projectiles, it is shooting at the enemy, which is very handy. It means that, like, you get major bang for your buck with Sea-Wiz, which is why I should really get in the habit of using it a lot more. There's no excuses anymore. Also, I love how on the turrets themselves, you've got munition warners pointing forward, which is very, very smart, because it's a similar reason to why I like stick missile interceptors on turrets. It's just that when you have it on the turret, what you have here is that you've always got a munition warner, or, well, you've got at least 8 of them, pointing straight at the enemy, which is really smart, actually. I actually love the back of these turrets. It looks so good. It looks so cool. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Like, not only is this thing pretty practical, meta-wise, it's also pretty, which is, as we all know, much harder. I've never managed it. So we've got a whole bunch of... Okay, so we've got exposed smoke, and that's perhaps not the best idea. Let's see what's here. Material use per second. Alright, so that's defaults. But yeah, like, I'm not sure how smart it is to have exposed smoke. I don't think it... Like, let's see here. Smoke dispensers. Yeah, no. Best not to do that, but also, like, I think that's partially a stylistic choice. Those might not be the only smoke dispensers around here. I think, yeah... Where else? Yeah. There's more down there. There's more down here in the actual cavities. More on that in a second. And I do like these little shield hubs, so to speak. It's perhaps not the smartest thing to stick your shields, like, there's literally one metal beam and a rubber block protecting the shield. And these fellas are, well, they're not as expensive as they used to be, but it's 100 materials in a single block. So perhaps this isn't particularly clever, but I do love the idea of just sticking it in a rubber box, because I think that does help to EMP-proof it a little bit. And yeah, there's another rubber block. It's surrounded. So surrounded by rubber and surrounded by wood. Incidentally, the deck armor on this thing is actually kind of thin. So it's an interesting, it's like, it's a different way of armoring from what I'm used to. So let's see here. Yeah, so these turrets are pretty much entirely armored by themselves, so to speak, and hell, they even have poles in there. Sacrilege. But yeah, so it's like the deck has nothing, so all the armor, so to speak, protecting the guns is on the turret itself, which is interesting. Like, I've always, like, been of the idea that, like, you really gotta, like, have at least 2 layers or to your deck, but I guess not. Just don't get shot at from above. Satellites will be your doom. But satellites were the doom of the original Ragnarok either. And speaking of armor, let's go over here. I am thrilled to see Brenzo using Gmodisms, or, well, not Gmodisms. Gmodism is just where I learned it from. The checkerboard armor pattern. So, well, let's see where it is. So, you'll see here, keep an eye on the left so you can see what's happening. It is that cross-hatched pattern of wood and metal, which is taking full advantage of armor stacking and also nice cheap hit points and a little bit of floaty. That is the actual rule. So, and then a whole bunch of alloy over here in the middle of it. Let's see here. Is there other cross-hatching? Not really. Interesting. Where does that start? It starts around where the guns are at, by the looks of it. Yep, here it is. So, level with over here, where all the juicy internals are, that's where there's alloy armor on the side. Why is there double-stacked beam slopes? That's not smart. You get no armor stacking from that. Oh well. So anyway, yeah. This isn't meant to be a criticism. I'm showing off this thing because it's cool, because it is. So, speaking of that, let's hop into the interiors, because the interiors are something I've never managed to really get the hang of, and also you can't get out of the captain's seat. Help! There we go. So here we have the upper deck, and lots of in-jokes in here. By the way, Brenzo will be showing off in possibly much greater detail, and also with creators' insight as to this thing. The Schlacker Captain's Quarters, stay out. Where are the videos, Robert? Robert is busy is busy doing stuff with the chef's hat. And this is a huge double bed, and this is just a little, I guess, just a trip outside. So if you're wondering where Robert is with the videos, that's where he is. And then the tour goes on. You can go, what's over here? That's outside again. I'm just gonna leave the doors open. So here we have Neater, the whole plan of it, and that's, I believe, that is an up-to-date Neater map, or at least of the designer, anyway. Oh, there's the mouse cursor. Oh dear, that giant mouse cursor is the most dangerous threat on Neater, and just ACBs just for decoration. Oh, shocking, but delightful. All right, so here's where we've got the command center, and here we have little other stuff. Yeah, look at that. It is so cool that you can do this From the Depths. It's just, you know, have cameras set up. I gotta play with them more. And we're gonna head down here. Debrief room. If you can read this, you're not doing anything useful, get back to work. Okay, you got it. And there is Robbers himself, complete with Walrus. And here's Mick Walrus. Get thick, skinny bitch. Oh dear. Only trace amounts of dog bean and Batman. So this is in-jokes. Yep, no salads. As someone who attempted to be a vegan once, I take that personally, but also as someone who failed at being a vegan, I find that funny. And then blood pancakes, kangaroo tacos, moose burger, walrus meat, Swedish meatballs, and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, and here's... Employees only? I don't think so. Oh, look at that. Burning moose burger. Look at that. Oh, woof. And someone is trying to get stuff out of the fridge and it's not working, and there's a helicopter. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't notice the green smoke last time. Employees must wash hands after taking a poop. And this guy is like... This guy had too much McWalrus, clearly. Alrighty, so there's essentially the canteen, the cafeteria. And stay out? I don't think so. Alright, the cult room. Ah, yes, the Cthulhu room. Of course. Of course, of course. Oh, no, I shut myself in. Didn't want to do that. You can't hang out in the Cthulhu room. That's bad. Alright, what is all this? So, this is the miscellaneous closet. Over here is the gym. It's a very well-finished gym. This is definitely a ship with a McWalrus on it, because the gym is just this one... this one bench press, and the one, not entirely sure if it's functioning. What's the word I'm looking for? Treadmill, that's the one. Boy, that was a joke. I love everything. What's in here? Is this even... Nah, it's just an office, I guess. Is it another office? Uh-oh. No! McWalrus has drawn me back in. No! I'm trapped in McWalrus! There we go. We've escaped McWalrus. And here's the bar, Hunin and Moonin, which is named after Odin's 2 ravens, and also 2 laser ships that Robber's made. I'm a fanboy. I know what's what. Here is outside, which we don't care about. Just joking. We very much care about the outside. Crew's quarters, we have all that. Crew's lounge is over here. Let's see what's in here. Just chilling. Booty pirate spotted in the area. There's the booty pirate. That's just rude. That is just rude. We'll give them some privacy, shall we? Let's do that. Oh, this is fun. This is good. Here's the barracks. Just crammed in willy-nilly. And here is the medical bit, and this guy is concerned, but also a little bit stumped, because this guy is green. I didn't actually notice first time I looked at this that this fella is green. Very, very green. But what else? What else is there? Nothing much by the looks of it. How do we get out? We can get out here, and there's elevated chairs, so we can look out at the stuff. That's great. And also Azapods. Azapods. I love this thing's Azapods. It's got so many Azapods. Like, I don't know, like, if Brenzo got this off the Megalodon or wherever the hell. You never know, really. But yeah, I approve of Azapods because Azapods are wonderful. Also, I suspect there's a breadboard or ACB somewhere which causes these behaviors to switch. I have no idea what that is. Might have to go looking for it. Let's have a look at the internals quickly. Internals are fun. Big, big lambs. I need to learn things from these lambs. Large turbines, by the looks of it. Yep, big, big turbines. Big, big steam engine. Yeah, I gotta get better at steam. Man, steam. Steam is important. Steam is important. And here's another one that doesn't even need to... It's got an entire spare steam engine. How dare you? How dare you flex? And it's got that that kind of patent ERA slope, which I put on the Titan slung, and I suspect I put it on backwards. So yeah, this is the orientation which you do want, because that way it doesn't actually have an air gap in it, and it means that it still stops heat. So yeah, and there we see what looks to be, let's see here, this looks like 4-connection Tetris. Can be a little bit hard to tell sometimes. Yes, that it does look like. Hang on, let's see here. Nope, that is not 4-connection Tetris, that is 3-connection Tetris by the looks of it. Which is not surprising, since 3-connection Tetris is tends to be a little bit easier to do. Do we have an air gap in the middle there? We do not. We have a metal beam. Also, this thing's fast. It goes 40 minutes per second. So, by the way, this thing is pretty much cram-proof because it's got a giant lambs, it's got Sea-Whiz, and it moves quite quickly and fights at quite a long range. Combat distance is 961. And nope, that's not what I wanted to see. Combat distance is 1000. Use both sides. That's not as far as I thought it was. Interesting. And there's stuff up here. I don't think there's anything functional up here. It's just got lots of radios and stuff. I always forget to do stuff like this. So yeah, she's big and beautiful, and just so everyone can see how much she clobbers the Titan slung, I'm just going to show you that, like, now. I'm just briefly, because believe me, it's not going to take up much time. It's just going to be like, the Ragnarok is bigger, the Ragnarok is better optimized. The T-Starly doesn't really have a chance. Like, even spawning in at the reasonably close range that I do stuff at, yeah, nah, it's not gonna work very well. Here's the Mark II, and that's all there, 1,500 meters away. Brenzo spawned these two when they're fighting at 3,000, and then at 2,000 meters, so never actually seen these two fight at this range, so maybe T-Starly will do better, maybe not. I don't think so. We're just gonna do that. And also, one of the reasons I want to do this Weird and Wonderful, even though the video before last one was also a Weird and Wonderful, is because I want to see how the Ragnarok does against a whole bunch of other scary stuff. So let's have a go. Let's see here. I didn't... Okay, let's just start that again. Because for some reason I had cram set to ×2 speed. That was very silly. Very silly indeed. I'm wondering if the Ragnarok can take on the... Oh, damn it, what was it? That giant-ass thing I reviewed the other day. I've already forgotten its name. How silly of me. Alright, let's see. And Titan Slung is already losing blocks. And first crams did nothing. Also, I have gone into the options and shortened the tracer length because I think it looks really cool. Looked really cool. Wait a minute. How did you lose 2% health? Oh, that's how. See, now we're at cram brawling range. T-Starly should do a lot better. But, yeah, nah, I don't think she's gonna win this. Or maybe she will. Or maybe she will. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, maybe I do have genuine cram bias, because, starting head-to-head and driving close like this, like, the Ragnarok is gonna take shots that she wouldn't otherwise do. Also, I've already got ideas for doing battleships better. Oh, there we go. Those Seawers are no joke, seriously. Yep. Minus, yep, and no more. Nope. Raggy's winning this one. It was promising, but, yeah. Not gonna happen. Because you look at just the absolute torrent of Dhaka that's coming off this thing. End of the world versus Big Snake. Somehow, yeah, nah, that wasn't gonna do it. Was not gonna do it at all. So, if anything else, it's like, Brenzo was very nice in his video saying, like, yeah, like, there's a lot of reasons, why the T-Starly is at a big disadvantage. This is not a fair fight, it's not an even fight. Well, firstly, like, it's crams versus something that is very cram-proof and bigger and more expensive and all that stuff. But also, I'd go further and I'd say that the Ragnarok is just generally a better optimized craft. It just kind of is. Like, it's more meta, it's not as experimental, like, it's things like the APS Tetris and the armor scheme, that checkerboard pattern, which is effectively cheap hit points, just putting, like, smart spending, so to speak, putting the cost where it matters and makes a difference. That is, yeah, that adds up a lot. Meanwhile, the Titan Slung has not super optimized lasers, not super optimized armor. Yeah, I did mention, like, on Brenzo's video saying that, like, the Titan Slung was very experimental, and it just occurred to me right now, as I said that, like, the aim behind these two craft is kind of different. Like, the Ragnarok 2022 is very much taking an old thing and making it as good as possible by the new standards, so to speak. And the Titan Slung was essentially making something big and trying things out, and also kind of like testing myself, getting out of my comfort zone a little bit with building something really giant. So yeah, different aim, and they both succeed in their aim. It's just that the Ragnarok's aim is arguably a more practical one, making a really formidable battleship. So yeah, stick around. We're going to be chucking this thing against a whole bunch of stuff, because that's really fun to watch. And yeah, I might have to adjust my Deacons, hell. Like, I've been dunking on crams a little bit, but the crams on the T-Starly do make a hell of a mess, especially on the version 2, because they're like, screw it, just hollow points for days. So yeah, it's just not quite enough, though. Not quite enough at all. I reckon I could build a cram thing that could beat the Ragnarok, but it would take a lot of time. It would take a fair amount of work. And actually, like Brenzo said in his video that, like, cram is best for, like, front-siders, which I initially disagreed with, but then thinking about it, I get what he means. It's just you don't build a cram front-sider the same way you would build an APS front-sider. Because with an APS front-sider, you'd make something like the Kobold, or the Goshawk, or the Singularity. You just make railguns with a oh my god, that... Just the ablative armor just doesn't last at all against those. But anyway, it's like, yeah, let's go check T-Starly, because she's not doing well. She's not doing well at all. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so like, but a cram front-sider, it makes more sense to have that something like more like a ship, Or something like, you know, you want it fast enough that it can get in nice and close, but not so fast that it screws with the ground velocity. Wow. The game had to load in all the missing blocks there. Jeez. Damn. Poor T-Starly. She is now the punching bag for the whole internet. Let that be a lesson to you. That tier list I made, whatchamacallit? Yeah, well, yeah, the From the Depths tier list. Crams are on the bottom for a reason. Because, yeah, look at this, and it's just like, yeah, nah, that's, they really cannot handle, like, standing up to something like this. Something that's just maxing out the APS and all that. And you'll notice that, the Ragnarok is actually designed in a similar fashion to the 5th season, is that, like, there are bits which, I mean, there's a lot of blocks on it that it doesn't matter if it gets blown off. It doesn't really affect how the... Oh my god, that was really cool, though. It doesn't matter if, like, the ship kind of, like, suffers in that regard. And also, the bow and stern have basically no armor whatsoever. Are you sinking? There's no way the Raggy's gonna make you... The T-Starly's gonna make you sink. That's just not gonna happen. But yeah, it's like... I just forgot what I was saying because this is too cool. The Ragnarok has left me speechless. Yeah. Oh boy, and yeah, it looks like over there. Yep, let's have a look through the binocular. Yep, T-Starly is sinking. Oh, that would hurt my heart if I had one still. But yeah, so go check out Brenzo's video of the Ragnarok versus T-Starly, because, like, you know, it's, well, it's pretty much like this, but different, and you also get to hear his thoughts on the whole thing, which is great. Support content creators. Give us all your money. Just kidding. Don't do that unless you really want to. So anyway, that just about does it for this Weird and Wonderful. Look forward to more stuff involving Raggy, because she's just so fun to play with. And thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, support me on Patreon or YouTube membership. Yep, there goes the T-Starly. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps. And there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and thank you, Brenzo, for bringing the Ragnarok into 2022. I can tell this was a labor of love. I appreciate the work you've done on her, and thank you so much. And I will see all of you next time in From the Depths. Farewell.